From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Good evening, everyone. And of course, as we've kicked off those cool April nights show and shines throughout the week, a lot of people are wondering, are we ever going to see rain in the forecast here? And we're beginning to see better and better chances and signs for Redding and parts of the valley in general to see some showers here later on this week. We'll get into that a little bit later. So overall, here's what we've got. Mountain showers, thunderstorms, Wednesday through Saturday. That's the overall general trend. Now, there are going to be maybe even some of those lingering into Sunday as well. Best chances in the valley will be Friday and Saturday. But as early as even tonight, we're getting close to the Redding area. Tomorrow afternoon, parts of Tehama County. And as we go into Thursday, maybe even a chance for some of those showers working their way into parts of Redding as well. Again, a closer look at that in our deeper dive forecast. We got a drop in temperatures by Thursday, and quite a drop actually. As much as close to a 20-degree drop from what we saw today to what we will see on Thursday. Temperatures only in the 60s for most of us in the valley. So yeah, it's going to be a lot cooler out there. Drier and warmer though going into next week. All right, so here's a look at Krueger's Quickcast for your Tuesday, April 22nd. First and foremost, let's talk about for the third night in a row, we do have a frost advisory for Trinity County. This is mainly for a lot of the wind-sheltered areas, in particular in a lot of those low-lying mountain valleys. That's where we can see some of those coldest temperatures. And this could mean the potential for damage to any sensitive crops or vegetation. So just be aware of that for tonight and into tomorrow. All right, so here's what it looks like for tonight. There you can see out towards Hayfork, yeah, you're down to 33 degrees. 38 degrees for Weaverville, that is, 41 for Trinity Center. Now for the valley, there you can see some clouds, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in our deeper dive. Low 50s though for Chico, 31 for Alturas, and we've got those low to even mid 40s overnight tonight along the coast. So out the door tomorrow morning, take a look at this. Look at Modoc County. There's going to be a chance for some showers here tomorrow morning with temperatures in the upper 30s. Otherwise, looking at dry conditions for the rest of us and some fairly mild temperatures for the most part. We do have some clouds down to our south and east. Those are mainly staying to our south. We have a broad ridge of high pressure that's going to really start to break down a little bit here and allow better chances for showers to move on in. So here's what we have for tonight. 8 o'clock tonight, eastern Siskiyou, Modoc County, and we could even see a little bit of activity in northeastern Shasta and northern Lassen County as well. But this is a general area right here that I'm watching for tonight and early tomorrow morning. It's mainly to the north and east of the valley. But check this out. Latest forecast model wants to, around midnight, develop a few showers, possible thunderstorms, near the Redding area, Palisadro, Anderson, near Cottonwood as well. But I think the bulk of it will be in the foothills, north and east of the valley. I think around, say, Shingletown, in Manton, for example, Bernie, out towards the north and east portions of Shasta County, northern Lassen County, Modoc County, and even eastern Siskiyou County. That's midnight tonight. Okay, then we take about 3 o'clock in the morning. That energy is shifting to the north and east. Just some clouds for the valley at that point. And then by tomorrow morning, there is that rain mainly in Modoc County and extreme northern Lassen County as well. That moves out, but then as we go through the morning hours, we start to see more of that afternoon convection begin to develop here, especially off to the east. And meanwhile, we do have some of the fog still kind of hanging around on the coast. Now you can start to see this energy, see a bit of a spin. It's moving to the south and east. So what's going to happen is these storms that develop are going to move to the south and east. Now that's important to take note because as these storms develop to the north of the valley, some of those could survive and make their way into parts of, say, city of Shasta Lake, into Redding as well. So if you have any plans outdoors, say Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, there may be a stray shower developing there. then that should die out, and then we got more activity coming on Thursday. More on that in your deeper dive forecast. If you're heading out to any cool April nights events here for tomorrow in Redding, I think for the most part you're going to be okay. You're going to be dealing with mainly sunny skies. Temperatures are not going to be quite as warm at this point. We're kind of in the beginning phases, if you will, of that cooler trend, with temperatures only reaching somewhere in the upper 70s. So looks like some good weather here for your cool April nights show and shines here. A lot of great events here at different businesses and organizations here. For example, Orchard Nutrition Center. All right, so there you can see as we take you into your Wednesday, we do have those temperatures somewhere in the low 80s, even some upper 70s here in the valley. So Redding, you have to about 81, but there you can see generally in the 50s and 60s for the higher elevations, and we do have those low 60s. And of course, you saw where most of the showers and thunderstorms will be, and they will be in the higher elevations. All right, so taking a look at your 7-day outlook. So for Redding, Red Bluff, and Chico, I think for the most part you're dry. However, that being said, we may see a stray shower work its way into the Red Bluff area tomorrow afternoon, maybe sometime in the evening on Thursday for Redding and maybe Red Bluff. Chico most likely dry on Thursday. Then on Friday, there's a chance for showers and thunderstorms for everyone in the valley. That does include also Saturday as well. And then we dry things out and warm it back up for early next week. Now for the coast, chance for showers off and on Thursday through Saturday. That's also the case inland. As early as tomorrow, a chance for showers, thunderstorms in Weaverville. That'll continue possibly even into Sunday before it dries out for early next week. For all of the mountains here, for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains, tomorrow through Sunday, we've got that chance for showers. Then it's all out of here by Monday, Tuesday, and it begins to warm back up again. All right. That is a look at your Krueger's Quickcast, as quick as I could get through it. We're going to go into the deeper dive forecast here in just a second. Just want a reminder, there's a free Weather NorCal app you have access to. Just go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, put a space between Weather and NorCal, and download the app for free today. It's got everything you need, and a local, hyper-local app. Okay, so again, we've got this broad ridge of high pressure right here. What's happening is that ridge is beginning to break down a little bit here. We are seeing these storms kind of ride over it, and that's what's going to allow for some of the instability. But a lot of the instability that we're seeing is more what we call convective showers and thunderstorms. But check out again, we're going to take a closer look at it again tonight, because as we go into midnight tonight, this model in particular wants to bring in and develop some showers around the Redding, Anderson, Palisadro, Cottonwood areas here, and then move it to the north and east. So is it out of the question for you to hear a rumble of thunder in this area, for you to maybe see a stray sprinkle or light shower late tonight? Possibly, but keep in mind, most of that will be when most of us are in bed at this point, right? But you see most of the activity is to the north and east. In the meantime, you're still seeing that fog along the coast, especially into central Humboldt County. Showers, thunderstorms, Bernie to the north and east. Still some clouds in the Redding area, by the way. 8 a.m., mainly in Modoc County. Still some fog around Humboldt Bay. Then we go into the midday hours on Wednesday. See, the fog is beginning to develop here for parts of the coast here. We're beginning to see more of that afternoon convection in the higher elevations. So we're starting it off here, but I think what we're going to start to see happen as we go into Wednesday afternoon, it's going to start to flare up. And you see what's going on by Wednesday, 6 p.m. We're seeing most of the showers and thunderstorms kind of surrounding the valley into the higher elevations. But check this out. What we're seeing is this thunderstorm possibly developing in western Tehama County. It's showing some of that rain kind of spilling on into parts of the valley, say around Red Bluff or Corning. But overall, I think most of the activity will be in the mountains. However, you can see this cell here just to the north of Redding. Is it out of the question that by Wednesday evening, Wednesday night, this could kind of filter into the Redding area? Certainly not out of the question. So just bear that in mind if you're going to be out and about here, especially tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. Places like Redding, maybe around the Red Bluff and Corning areas, could see a stray shower. In the meantime, we got that fog really developing along the coast here, and then of course maybe some activity off to the north and east. But we get a bit of a break. We go into Thursday morning. We've got that fog possibly developing in Glenn and Butte counties. Some pretty dense fog, it looks like, out along the coast here. And then eventually we're going to start to see that afternoon convection again on Thursday. But instead of the storms moving from north to south, they're going to be moving from south to north. So that's another thing to take note when we start seeing these thunderstorms begin to develop. So most of it, as you can see, is to the north and west of the valley. We're beginning to see some activity to the east, so that will begin to develop. But it looks like some of these storms, as they develop pretty close to the valley, could stray into the valley. This is Thursday evening at about 5 p.m. You see some of the showers that are beginning to develop, or some leftover showers from a thunderstorm that could work its way into the Redding area. Now, as of right now, it looks like Red Bluff, Corning, Chico will most likely stay dry, but we'll have to watch that for Thursday. And then Thursday night, 10 p.m., still some more activity here, especially to the north and west of the valley. So as we go into the overnight hours, some of those could work their way into Redding and maybe even Red Bluff as well. And then better chances going into your Friday. Let's take a look at Friday. So Friday is an actual area of low pressure that is off the coast here that will be here through the day on Friday. Here's the main boundary itself. So by the time we go in the afternoon and evening, it does work its way in. So unfortunately, as of right now, it looks like just in time for the cool April Nights cruise. We might see some wet weather in there. And of course, we've got wet weather working its way southward into places like Chico and Oroville, and then more showers off to the east, showers for the coast. Everyone's seeing showers on Friday. That's the area of low pressure responsible for this. That low pressure then dives down to the south and east. So by Saturday, what we got here is the flow around that low pressure system, and that's going to continue to bring us more showers here for pretty much everyone seeing that chance, including the valley. Now, as we go into Sunday, some of the models, in particular the European forecast model, still has a chance for showers in some of the mountain locations on Sunday, but for the most part, we're wrapping things up Sunday. Then by Monday, Tuesday, we've got high pressure building in, and that's going to give us drier and warmer conditions as we go into early next week. But overall, here we are talking about this rain entering the picture here, and it's not going to amount to much. In fact, we've got the drier than normal conditions here in the longer range, near normal to our east, and wetter than normal conditions way off to our east. And temperature-wise, we're not going to be looking at temperatures warming up a whole lot either, closer to normal. However, when we look at that 10-day trend, check this out. There's that big drop in the temperatures for Friday, Saturday. We're back up closer to normal by Sunday, and then we start to ramp back up, probably somewhere in the mid to even upper 80s by the end of next week. So it will get significantly warmer again as we get towards the latter part of next week. Let's talk about the wave heights, because there was a small craft advisory today, and it looks like that may even linger into Wednesday as well. But by Thursday, those wave heights should start to drop, and that small craft advisory should be allowed to expire at that point. So for tonight, once again, we are seeing some clouds here for Redding, Cottonwood, and Red Bluff. Could we see a stray shower around midnight? It's not out of the question as these storms begin to develop, but most of it will be moving to the north and east. So northeastern Shasta County, Siskiyou, Modoc County, northern Lassen, all seeing that chance here for tonight. But I think everyone else will be dry. Here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast for your Wednesday. There it is. Showers, possible thunderstorms for Wednesday, off and on all the way through Sunday. And most of these will be those afternoon convective showers and thunderstorms developing here. For the North Coast, I think you're going to be dry on Wednesday. Chances for showers even for the coast come Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday, drying out by Sunday. We take you off to the inland areas Thursday, Friday, Saturday, also drying out as we go into your Sunday. Let's take a look at your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Chance for showers and thunderstorms starting as early as tomorrow, and then more of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms through at least Saturday, if not even lingering into Sunday. That's the same story for Modoc County as far as chances for showers and thunderstorms are concerned. Big drop in our temperatures as we go into Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but then as we dry things out, we warm it up back, warm it back up again, that is, by Monday, Tuesday. Your eastern mountains neighborhood forecast, temperatures in the 60s, even some 70s in there for your Wednesday, 70 in Greenville, 71 for Quincy, and out towards Paradise, a high of 69 degrees. Your valley neighborhood forecast to the south. So I've got you dry for Wednesday. I've got you dry on Thursday in Oroville, but Friday, Saturday, that is going to be your best bet when it comes to chances for showers. That's also the case for Chico. And then we dry it and warm it up here over the second half of the weekend, back up to around 79 to 82 by Monday and Tuesday for Chico. Let's take you up to the north. 82 degrees for Anderson, 81 for Cottonwood, 81 for Palo Cedro, and Whiskeytown, a high of about 76 degrees. Notice for Red Bluff, and in particular for the Reading area, I'd say there's a chance for showers in the evening as we go into your Thursday. And by the way, of course, we saw that potential even on Wednesday as well. So Wednesday evening, Thursday evening, that slight chance, but I think better chances for your Friday, Saturday, drying out and warming back up for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That's your evening update. I'll be back again tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. and live on Coffee with Krueger at 6:30. Have a great night.
Barr & Mudford is a top established firm here in the North State. Founded over a half-century ago, Barr & Mudford is protecting the rights of our neighbors and community. We take our commitment to our clients very seriously and provide a level of excellence unrivaled in the North State. Barr & Mudford, standing up for the rights of our neighbors and our beautiful community, serving Northern California with excellence.